of the summer, Bama Nation, but we are doing that in style. And doing that here on a Wednesday, hump day, number one ticket for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all in here late in the month of May. As always, we bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. You smash that subscribe button right now. Tap that subscribe button. Get locked in. Get locked on to all things Crimson Tide. Hit the like button. Smash the like button. Get those like levels up right there. We love that. We appreciate that. The daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate the support from all of you, all of Alabama Athletics. Doing great right now. We got Kalen DeBoer, SEC spring meetings where football is concerned. Bama men's basketball, Nate Oates is bringing back Mark Sears. So Sears returns to the Crimson Tide. We're waiting to see what happens with Jaron Stevenson. If Stevenson decides to come back as well, Bama's got a roster that can get right back to the Final Four and win it all the next coming basketball season. But to have Mark Sears back, huge. And then for Bama softball, just when you thought Patrick Murphy lost all the Mudita, just when you thought all seemed lost for Bama softball, the girls, Team 28 has found its way back. Wasn't easy by a long shot, but Team 28 is in the Women's College World Series, taking care of Tennessee. In the Super Regional, Bama will face UCLA. Match of one, Women's College World Series. Proud of Patrick Murphy and the young ladies there getting that done. But definitely want to hear from you guys tonight, the Bama Nation. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358 for number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you. How about some love to Jason Haywood? One time with that $5 donation. Dropping the love in the bucket. Appreciate that from Jason Haywood. But we start topic number one, John, of tonight's conversation with Kalen DeBoer, Alabama new head coach for football, was at Miramar Beach, Florida this week for SEC spring meetings. This happens after the spring football games are over. Spring practices are over for teams in the Southeastern Conference. And before you really get into the dog days of summer, all the coaches, they convene in sometimes Destin, Florida, this time Miramar Beach, Florida, to discuss, just certain topics in the SEC, whether it's, scholarship limitations or how many walk-ons can you have to the college football playoff talk. The conversation bounces around when you look at the SEC spring meetings. And the biggest thing for Kalen DeBoer that he had to address as, for the first time in, 17 years, this was not Nick Saban at these SEC meetings representing Alabama. This is Kalen DeBoer, 49-year-old, of whom his last coaching stop was the University of Washington prior to arriving in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on January the 12th. And then on January 13th, which was a Saturday, he had his introductory press conference inside Bryant-Denny as the new head coach. But one of the things that you have to love about Coach DeBoer, when he took the podium to address the media on Tuesday, focused mindset, sharp, focused mindset. He talked about the hunger of this team and how much he loves it right now. The hunger offensively, the hunger defensively. He gets it. This is a group that 3 years in a row, no national championship. 2021, 2022, this past season, no national championship. This is a hungry group on both sides of the football for Alabama. Whether you look at Jalen Milroe, who headlines the offense, or Malachi Moore, who headlines the defense, this is a hungry unit. And Kalen DeBoer is so excited to be a part of this unit and seeing what this group can do in competing for an SEC championship, most importantly, competing for a national title. And he spoke about the hunger of this group, spoke about the hunger of this team. But one of the big factors that the board discussed was even in a 12-team playoff where what's the conversation right now? Can you lose one game and still make the playoff? Can you lose 2 games and still make the playoff? I mean, God forbid, could you be a 3 and 4 loss team and still make the playoff? That's the conversation happening right now when you go to 12 teams, because it's about getting more people into the action of college football, getting more people into the big dance, creating more parity, creating more conversation. That's what's happening, right? So for Kalen DeBoer, his focus is, look, we're not trying to think about having extra wiggle room. We're not trying to think about if we're a 1-loss team, can we get in? If we're a 2-loss team, can we get in? Our focus is on winning every single game on the schedule, taking every single game for what it is, the significance of what it is, respecting our opponent for who they are, winning football games, and putting ourselves in the best possible situation where we can be of the high seeds, getting a first-round bye in the playoff. That's Kalen DeBoer's focus. And to be honest, that mirrors Nick Saban, because Coach Saban for 17 years was the exact same way. We're not going to overlook an opponent. We're not going to look down on an opponent. We're going to take every matchup seriously on the schedule. We're going to win every football game. We're going to put ourselves in the best possible place to where we're winning an SEC title. We're getting into the college football playoff because we don't want to leave our destiny in the hands of external factors. Nick Saban's always talked about that. We don't want to leave our destiny in the hands of the referees. We don't want to leave our destiny in the hands of the College Football Playoff Committee. If we do lose a game, we want to control every single part of what we're doing. And Kalen DeBoer is about the same message. Forget about the fact that, you could be a 1-loss team and still make the playoff, or a 2-loss team and still make the playoff. We're trying to win every single game on the schedule because Alabama has a schedule it's got to navigate through. Now, yes, it does not play the Arkansas. It doesn't play the Ole Miss. It doesn't play the Mississippi State. It doesn't play the Texas A&M. It does, however, week three of the season, you go up to Camp Randall Stadium, Madison, Wisconsin, to take on the Badgers and Luke Fickell, and that's a Fox Big Noon game at 11 a.m. First major road test. That's going to be pretty interesting right there. Then you do got to face Georgia week 4 at home in Tuscaloosa. Big-time matchup. You got to face Tennessee on the road, Rocky Top. The last time you were at Tennessee, even with Bryce Young, you suffered a 49-52 loss. That's going to be intriguing right there. You got to play against Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma on the road in Norman, and, of course, Auburn in the Iron Bowl. So there are some big matchups here on Alabama's schedule. Not to mention you got South Carolina, too, at home. So Kalen DeBoer about winning every single game, every single contest here on the schedule, not overlooking anybody, trying to get one of these first-round buys for the college football playoffs. So he's got the right perspective. He's got the right mindset as the Alabama head football coach. We're going to take our first break here on the show and touch that down. We're just getting your chest warm on a Wednesday. When we get back, we continue with we go to the phone lines. We get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get back to you, the fans, after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never heard before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, Bama Nation, here we go. We're back into the action, rocking and rolling right here on a Wednesday, hump day, number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Continue smashing the like button, hitting that subscribe button, making this your house for all things Bama football news. We appreciate that. The daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But we go to the phone lines now to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. That number to call in right there, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're live on the show, caller.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, brother?
Doing good, Mike. Doing good. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good. I want to thank you for that motivational speech, brother. I'm ready to get this show on the road. I'm ready for a new era in Alabama football.
I mean, we all are, Mike. I mean, I'm excited about what Kalen DeBoer can do and will do. It was great, 17 years with Coach Saban and what he was able to accomplish. But just hearing Coach DeBoer Tuesday at the SEC spring meetings, he knows what's up. He knows the expectations. He's got a feel for what needs to be done and what has to get done. So I'm excited for fall camp to get here.
Yeah, me too, man. The man's been successful at every turn. I mean, these people out here that think Alabama ain't going to be Alabama next season, they in for a rude awakening.
I mean, absolutely. It doesn't matter where DeBoer has been, whether it's been at NAIA, whether it's been Fresno State, Indiana, whether it's been at Washington. He's built a winning culture no matter where he is. I go back to Washington. Washington was a train wreck. They were 4-8 in 2021, 2 years before he got there. And then he gets there, 2022, 2023, those 2 years, turns them completely around, has them playing for a national championship this past season. DeBoer knows what he's doing.
Dude, he beat the Ducks twice last year.
He did. Beat the Ducks twice. Beat Steve Sarkisian. Beat Texas.
He beat Texas last year with a less than other than roster. You know?
I'm just saying, like, Kalen DeBoer of the four teams that were in the college football playoff last season, Kalen DeBoer had the fourth best roster. And with the fourth best roster, you get to the national championship game.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I tell you, man, something that just gives me peace of mind, man. Every time I see this cat talk, dude, I just get a calm feeling like everything's going to be okay when I hear Courtney Morgan talk, bro.
I mean, Courtney Morgan, when I hear Jamarcus Shepard talk, I'm like, these wide receivers are going to be dangerous. When I hear Rob Gillespie speak and all of these coaches, I get a feeling of every last one of them knows we got something to prove, and we about to prove it.
Absolutely. But yeah, I kind of worry about putting Courtney out there too much, man. And that dude's got NFL GM road all over him. I hope he don't get gone from us.
I hope not either. I mean, this guy's smart, savvy, smooth business guy, but loves these athletes. He's able to be out there in that recruiting circuit, helping Alabama get to a lot of these guys, class of 2025 on down, so on up. So hopefully, Alabama can keep its hands on Courtney Morgan for years to come.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man. But every time I see him talking on YouTube or something, I'm going, man, some NFL team's gonna hear this cat. And, he'll end up going to the Jacksonville Jaguars or something, but couldn't blame him. The money'd be good.
Would be. But hopefully for Greg Byrne, if you're listening, Greg Byrne, keep Courtney Morgan here. You're listening, Greg Byrne, AD, keep Courtney Morgan around here.
Yeah, I can't wait for Georgia at home this year. I think I'm going to have to drive 800 miles for that one.
That's going to be a good game. We got Kirby Smart coming back in the Tuscaloosa. Javaris Robinson coming into Tuscaloosa. I have to be in the DB coach at Alabama for a while there, so that's going to be a fun matchup at Bryant-Denny.
Yeah, the house will be rocking. That's a 7:30 game, ain't it?
That's a 7:30 night game. You are correct there, Mike. That's going to be a night game.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to get off. I'm rambling. Roll dadgum tide, everybody.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in here to get us started on a Wednesday. We're going to go to this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling, state your name, and where you calling from.
Steve, my boy. Hey, look, I seen, he said he talking about the defensive line today. I said, Steve want me to call the show, man. Let me call the show. What's good, Steve? This is G.
Man, G, I gotta talk defensive line because it's time for these dudes to be let off this chain, man. You're talking James Smith, let him off. Keon Keelan, let him off. A lot of these guys, It's time to let them off this chain, man, and let them go after it because in this 4-2-5, it starts with those dudes up front.
Yeah. Okay, so, like I said, I be watching that spring game. Like the game tomorrow, I want a scout team, so I just keep watching it, right? So when we first talked about a couple of weeks ago, I had, I talked about James Smith. He looks improved from last year. Tim Keenan, he looks just as dominant. And I'm gonna say one thing about Tim Keenan. Let's add about 4 more highlights to what he did in A-Day. We got to remember he's going against the best interior from guard to guard in the nation. So for him to be in the backfield a couple of times and for him to be getting some pressure a couple of times, I'm going to add about 2 more pressures and about 2 more TFLs just because of who he's doing it against now. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. And also with Tim, you got to think this is money year for him in terms of next year's draft. And that's definitely on Tim's mind. I think more so on Tim's mind is trying to get this defense to play for a national championship. But I'm right there with you, G. I can look at a few more TFLs for Tim. I can look at a couple more, quarterback hurries. Also, add a couple more pass breakups to Keenan. People forget Keenan had 7 pass breakups last year. He was. I think he led all defensive linemen for pass breakups.
Okay. So I'm with you on that. Let me say this right quick. Since you said, I want to throw something in there. Hey, look, Elijah Pritchett in trouble. Wilkin Formby look good in the mud. Excuse me,
I've said this. G. I've said this. When that 2023 recruiting class came in, everybody was wetting themselves for Caden Proctor. And no offense to Caden, but I told a lot of people, Wilkin Formby is the most technically sound tackle out the whole group.
Hey, listen, Steve, don't nobody want to say it. he had your boy Latham in the jail cell that whole game. Jamarian Latham ain't make no play. I mean,
I'm just saying. Wilkin the whole spring. Wilkin Formby looked incredible at right tackle. The whole spring, whether it was practices, scrimmages, down to the spring game, Wilkin made noise.
So from what you've seen to what I've seen, if he's not our starter right tackle, politics is in the way, right? Would you say that?
It would have to be. If Wilkin,
Okay.
if Wilkin's not the starting right tackle, there's politicking going on, because Formby literally dominated practices, scrimmages. I'll say this. A couple of people I trust personally were at these scrimmages. They were basically telling me, Steve, when Wilkins out there, it's the best pass protection group we got.
Ooh. Hey, look, we ain't seen the O-line like this since that Cornbread Brown year when Mac and them won the Natty. So I know we talking D-line, right? But I always say Bama only wins Natties when we have one or the other. Either we need to have a top 3 O-line or a top 3 D-line. And that's just because we get people's best game. You know, we're everybody's Super Bowl. So with that being what comes with the Bama, we need to whoop ass up front. So if you watch Bama in the spring game, that offense was a lot cleaner, right?
Right.
Even though they kept it vanilla, you can tell DeBoer and them, they're not playing on offense with these weapons. You ain't got to worry about that. After really watching it and watching the old line take that next step, with Proctor losing 15 pounds, shit. I think our offense going to carry us, Steve. I mean, we're going to have the Georgia hurdle. You said what's the biggest team we're going to face. I don't think Georgia going to be our biggest team, Steve, because I think we take them serious. Bama's biggest hurdle is who we play around with. A Tennessee week.
A Missouri?
Ole Miss. Missouri. Okay, Missouri play a physical brand of football, so I think they'll get us to play, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'd be worried about finesse teams who want to line it up against us. You wake us up at halftime, we're going to come smack you outside of Michigan. I hate to say that. But finesse teams are our issue. Ole Miss, Texas, Tennessee, you know, shit like that, especially when we were running that combo coverage with Saban. But all in all, Steve, I think the offense going to carry us, and I think we got a top O-line. What about that, Steve? A top O-line at Bama. Boy, it's been, 6 seasons, Steve? I'm going to highlight you.
Appreciate G from Raleigh calling in the show, giving us his thoughts here on a Wednesday. We're going to take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
It's Derek from Omaha. What's up, Steve?
Derek, man, doing good, man. Doing good. I mean, I'm excited about what this Alabama football team can do here this upcoming season. I'm happy Alabama men's basketball is bringing back Mark Sears. I'm happy Alabama softball has made the Women's College World Series. Just a good time right now.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up because I just want to call in and, just wish Sears welcome back. I hope Stevenson come back. I guess we'll find out later on in the evening what he's finna do and stuff. And it's just exciting how deep we are. And the brother before that I was listening to him talk, he made a lot of good points. And it's just exciting to be a Crimson Tide fan right now. Everything's coming into play and it's looking good, from the softball team and on down the line. But I hope the baseball team comes up a little bit. I haven't heard about them. Have you heard anything about the baseball team or what's going on with the baseball team?
I think they got the right coach in Coach Vaughn. I think they got the right coach. I think next year would be a huge year for Coach Vaughn because you got to think about it. Alabama had to remove itself from what happened with Coach Bohannon and the whole, betting system thing, the whole betting fraud that happened there. So Coach Vaughn has to remove himself and remove that team from that debacle. So I think next year we're going to see something really nice with the baseball team.
I hope so, man, because like I said, I'm from Omaha. I want to see Alabama in this College World Series because I'm going to act a complete fool. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and listen to the rest of these callers because I know you got some good ones on the line. I want to say, hey, man, it's good hollering at you, man, and you stay up.
Appreciate my man Derek from Omaha calling in here on a Wednesday to the show. And all of you guys calling in here. Appreciate you guys. Phone lines 205-448-1358. I'm going to call in 205-448-1358 there, Bob. Cool call topic here, John. So Bama summer enrollees are here. The remainder of the 2024 signing class is here. They got on campus. So that's guys like Ryan Hollywood Williams is here. Rico Scott is here. Amari Jefferson's here. You got those guys right there. You got Jay Lindsey, tight end, is here. So the summer guys, the guys that did not enroll in the spring, those guys to round out the 2024 class, they have moved in. The younger brother of Malachi Moore, Aiden Moore, here. Of course, he is here as a preferred walk-on. So the remainder of the 2024 class, those summer guys, they have enrolled. They're on campus. They're getting acclimated now. It's going to be interesting to see how many of those guys can make an impact here on this year's team. You look at Ryan Williams. I mean, obviously, he comes out there and steals the show. He's going to be a starter in that wide receiver room. You look at a guy like a Rico Scott or an Amari Jefferson. They got a shot to do something in there. Jay Lindsey at tight end is interesting to me. Very good blocker. Very physical dude. But as far as the route running, the pass catching, can he get that, part of his game, all the way up to where he can make some type of an impact? If you look at Steve Bolo Imboa, that guy right there from Canada, how much of an impact Steve M can have here on this defensive line. So awesome to have the summer enrollees here. Looking forward to seeing their progression with the Crimson Tide. But we're taking another break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we discuss Alabama's defensive line. Freddie Roach has made some growth year by year, but he's in his 5th season, and it's time for him to let these linemen off this chain. We talk about the defensive line after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh yeah, gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We're back locked in to the action from the break here on a Wednesday hump day. Hottest show in these streets. We're talking Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. And awesome being, you're a fan of Alabama athletics, you're in an awesome time right now. Alabama football, a lot of excitement with Kalen DeBoer. Alabama men's basketball, Nate Oates has brought back Mark Sears. He's brought back Latrell Wrightsale. He's brought back Grant Nelson. He's got in one of the top shot blockers in college football coming in as a transfer. He's got a top-ranked recruiting class coming in here. Nate Oates is doing the thing for basketball where that's concerned. And with Alabama softball, Patrick Murphy and the girls, Team 28 in the Women's College World Series. So a lot of awesome stuff here happening for Alabama athletics, but continue to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right here to Touchdown Alabama magazine on the YouTube. The daily Super Chat Go, $100 daily. Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate the support from you guys. But we give a topic two of the conversation about the defensive line, the big men up front. This is a huge year for Freddie Roach, entering year 5 as an assistant coach here with the D-line. Freddie Roach got here in 2020, and he's taken steady growth in terms of 2020. He helped Christian Barmore get drafted. 2021, we're talking about helping guys like Fadarian Mathis and Byron Young and Will Anderson get drafted. 2022, helping guys like, the Justin DeBoer of the world get drafted. Of course, 2023, this past draft, or the 2024 draft, 2023 season, helping Justin DeBoer get drafted. So there's been steady growth here for Freddie Roach. But now, a lot of fans are looking at this year's defensive line, especially the experience, the talent, the depth. He's got to have some of these guys off the chain where they're producing crazy numbers. This is the year where fans are expecting crazy, big-time numbers here for this defensive line. And in the 4-2-5 that Kane Womack runs, everything starts with the guys up front. You got to be able to clog everything. Your defensive tackle, nose tackle, stuff in the run, but also being able to have the wiggle to knife your way back there and affect the quarterback, blow plays up, right? And then you got to have the edge-bending rush guys, your defensive ends, your bandits on the outside that can harass the quarterback from the outside, right? It all starts with the 4 guys down, on that line. And for Freddie Roach here, the good news is I got 4 guys here on screen. These would be my 4 projected starters on the D-line. These would be my 4 projected. Now, will these 4 end up being starters? I see 3 of the 4 possibly. 3 of the 4 definitely. So, but these would be my projected 4 here. My projected 4, I would look at Jamarian Latham right now as the starter at that bandit spot. Now, of course, the coaching staff, they really want Keon Keeley. They have high hopes for Keeley. They want Keeley to take it. But for right now, Jamarian Latham, because he played it all spring, right now, Jamarian Latham to start at that bandit spot. At one defensive tackle position at nose guard, I got Tim Keenan III. Keenan had a big year last year. We're talking 38 tackles, quite a few of those for loss, 7 pass breakups. Keenan stepped up last year. And so now Keenan coming into year 2 as a starter. This is his money season. NFL draft going to have its eyes on him. Keenan at that nose tackle spot, starter there. The other defensive tackle, I will look at Jaheim Otis. He changed one letter of his name, going from A to E. But Jaheim Otis, a guy at that defensive tackle spot, clogging up that middle, stuffing the running back, getting after the quarterback, getting some pass breakups in there, commanding a double team, shutting down the middle. Otis has got to get that done this upcoming season. And then the other defensive end, right now, it's either going to be Tim Smith or James Smith. One of these Smith boys is going to take it. Now, Tim Smith, he's been here a long time, since 2020 from Florida. 5-star of the 2020 class. He's kind of been sort of up and down, but trying to, trend upward. This past season was a good year for him. But then you got James Smith, the bully from Carver High School in Montgomery. Had a good, decent freshman year, but this spring, he really has turned it up. Got the size, got the quickness, got the power, got the wiggle, got the explosiveness, got the twitchiness, can make plays. Tim Smith better watch out. Because if James edges him, that's going to be a fun thing to see. If James Smith edges him, it's going to be a fun thing to look at that defensive end position. So your eyes are on them. So this will be my projected group of Latham as a bandit, Jaheim Otis, Tim Keenan, and either Tim Smith or James Smith at the other DN spot. But the guys to keep your eyes on in this rotation are on screen. You look at guys like Keon Keeley. Keeley's got a shot here, but take that bandit position. He's added some weight to him. Kane Womack talked about it all spring. He's a guy that we want playing at that bandit spot, at that end spot. We want him there. Freddie Roach talked about it. We're going to turn this big boy loose, and Keon Keeley, the guy to keep your eye on in this rotation. Another guy, Damon Payne. Damon Payne, he's gotten reps, he's gotten work, he's gotten experience. Want to see more from him. Want to see more from Damon Payne. You got Hunter Osborne. He had a really good spring. Turned some things up. Want to see more from him. Edric Hill had a really good spring. Want to see more from him. Jordan Renard, I forgot to put his name on there, but Jordan Renard had a really good spring. Want to see more from him. But you got guys like Jeremiah Beeman from Parker High School in Birmingham. He's got that leadership mentality. Been working with Coach Leonard Stevens, step-by-step performance here in Birmingham. I like what I'm seeing from Beeman. You got Isaiah Faga. What can he do on this defensive line? You got LT Overton, but transferred from Texas A&M. And then you got Steve Bolo Mbumoa from Canada. This is a deep defensive line. I just named off 15 to 16 dudes. So you are 3 deep across the board here. You're 3 deep. You're Freddie Roach, you got to play these guys. You are 3 deep across the board at each spot for the first time in a while. You're Freddie Roach, let these guys off this chain. Let these young men eat. It's time for it. Because this defense will go as far as the line. This defense will go as far as the front line. If the front line's out there knocking people out, it's going to make life a lot better for the linebackers. Going to make life a lot better for the defensive back. So it's time here for these DBs, these D linemen to do their thing. But we're going to take a short break here, folks. When we get back, we get into the topic of why is Georgia to me the toughest team or the toughest matchup on Alabama's schedule? We'll get into that after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks. All right, people. Here we go on a Wednesday, hump day, rocking and rolling with you. Hottest ticket here for Bama football, in my own words. George Trumy, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to be here with you guys. And we get into right now the final discussion here of conversation for the show. My thoughts here of why Georgia. Why are the Georgia Bulldogs the toughest matchup on Alabama's schedule? Now, some people would say, Steven, it's not Georgia. Alabama respects Georgia. There's no way it's Georgia. Toughest matchup, Tennessee. Toughest matchup, LSU. Toughest matchup, possibly, Wisconsin, first game in a row. Not Georgia. Here's why Georgia to me is the toughest matchup, because think about this. For 17 years, Nick Saban has had a hold on college football for the most part, right? For the better of 17 years, every program in college football has had to model itself after Alabama. If I'm going to be the best, I got to look like Alabama. I got to play like Alabama. I got to compete like Alabama, right? So for the better of 17 years, every program has tried to model itself after the Crimson Tide. And for Kirby Smart, for 9 years, we're talking 2007 to 2015, he sat down learning from Nick Saban, and he saw it all. He saw the dominance, saw the greatness, saw the national championships, the conference championships, the 2 Heisman Trophy winners, the boatload of players in the NFL draft, the countless All-Americans. Kirby saw it all. And Kirby finally, in 2020, with the 2021 season, 2022 national championship game, he finally got his first major victory over Saban in a national title matchup, winning 33-18. But now, what's on Kirby's mind is, okay, Saban's gone. So now, here's my chance to make Georgia the gold standard of college football. Here's my chance to make Georgia the measuring stick of college football. Here's my chance to make Georgia the program that everybody has to model. Kirby sees this window as, here is my window to get this done. And that's why I look at Georgia as the toughest matchup, because Kirby knows if I don't seize this window, with Saban retired, with Saban no longer the head coach at the University of Alabama, if I don't seize this window, will Georgia ever be the gold standard? If I don't seize this window, will Georgia ever become the measuring stick? If I don't seize this opportunity, will I forever be on the outside looking in terms of the Nick Saban shadow, right? Because, like I said, Kirby sat for 9 years learning all of this, right? And so now, with Saban retired, he's got this shot to have Georgia here as the gold standard. And Kirby's going to roll in to Bryant-Denny, week 4 of the college football season, with a lot of confidence. He's going to roll in here with Travaris Robinson, with Glenn Schumann. He's going to roll in here with Carson Beck as his quarterback. He's going to roll in here with returning guys offensively and defensively. Kirby's going to roll in here like, I own Bryant-Denny. He's going to roll in here like, I was here for 9 years. He's going to roll in here like, I should be able to take this. And I think for Alabama, and I've said this from the jump, if Alabama manhandles Georgia week 4 of the season, this is going to be an Alabama team you don't want to mess with if they manhandle Georgia week 4 of the college football season. But that's the reason why I look at Georgia as the toughest matchup, because Kirby Smart sees this as his window. He sees this as his opening. He sees this as his opportunity to make Georgia the gold standard of college football. We're going to see how this all shakes out for him. But always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, material, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store, you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Appreciate all of you, the Bama fans, for all the love today. all the appreciation today, all the phone calls today, the donating today. You guys have been phenomenal. Appreciate all of you. Don't forget to, as always, subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. Even in the dog days of summer, we got you with perspective pieces, with opinionated pieces about the team. We got you in our exclusive video hub with Stevens Report. I'm out there covering practices when I'm out there. We got you with the Way It Is podcast. Me talking about my 15-year journey covering Alabama football in the Saban era, never before told stories. We got the Justin and Dex podcast talking recruiting like you've never heard him. Justin's recruiting bites. He's on the road getting these athletes on the recruiting trail like you've never seen it done. You want to be locked in for all of this, have it at the palm of your hands. touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe right there. TDA Plus as well. The link is in the description. Once again, the link is in the description to be a part of everything going on. touchdownalabama.com. But till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored, enjoying that summer vacation there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Steven Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.